What's up, Spud Nation? Week 14. For most of you, this is round 1 of the playoffs. Coming off a huge night last night, lots of action. Had a couple clients and some real nail biters. Both pulled it off. Big wins for you guys. Welcome to the playoffs. Guys, Spud Nation, all of you, let's get these rankings down. Let's move on to round 2. Win that championship, take the trophy home, win that money, and you do it all right here at thesportscouch.com. Thanks again for tuning in. This is where you get the best fantasy football information around. You guys know how to get at me. YouTube, I have my Facebook page, The Sports Couch. I have my Twitter account, at The Sports Couch. Of course, my email, craig@thesportscouch.com. Here to give you the rankings, answer all your questions, and take you guys to the top. Here we go. Week 14 quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, you are my number 1 quarterback heading into playoff time. Peyton Manning's got a sweet matchup. The Denver Broncos take on the Oakland Raiders, who have been bleeding points through the air. Manning, he likes to dissect you. He will do so, and he will do so in a major fashion. Manning, number 1. Number 2, Tom Brady. Tough matchup, still. Tom Brady is the man. He's been on fire. Slow week last week, but Tom Brady is my number 2 quarterback. Number 3, Matt Ryan. Number 4, Drew Brees. Drew Brees, rough game. He is still Drew Brees at the end of the day. A top 10 quarterback always. Drew Brees will be in your lineup. Number 5, Josh Freeman. Welcome back to the top 5. I love his matchup. For those of you who took my advice and went out and got Josh Freeman for your playoff run, here we go. This is it. Josh Freeman's got a great matchup. Who are they playing this week? Buccaneers are taking on the Eagles. The Eagles have all but packed it in. They're throwing in backups. They have a backup quarterback starting now. He's the man. And on defense, playing pretty lifeless. Freeman will continue his hot streak and will put up nice points. Number 6, Andrew Luck. Interceptions happen, but the rookie is looking fantastic. Number 7, Aaron Rodgers. Number 8, RG3. Number 9, Matthew Stafford. I personally am in a kind of a pickle here. Matthew Stafford, Josh Freeman. Those are my 2 quarterbacks. I'm looking at the rankings here. Josh Freeman, Stafford has a great matchup too. So 2 great quarterbacks at my disposal. Who to go with? If I stick with the rankings, Freeman's my guy. Number 10, Tony Romo. Romo's been lights out. Thank you, Des Bryant. Number 11, Andy Dalton. 12, Kaepernick. 13, Cam Newton. A little bit more difficult matchup this week for Newton. Drops him in the rankings. 14, Chad Henne. 15, Matt Schaub. 16, Carson Palmer. 17, I'm assuming Big Ben is playing this week. He's not at 100%. Last I read or heard anything, Big Ben had limited arm strength. Not going to kill you down the field, but look for Heath Miller to be a primary target. Number 18, Russell Wilson. You talk about rookie quarterbacks, he is one of the top 3. He's looked fantastic. Just keeps coming. He's got great mobility, can run the ball, is throwing the ball, making Seahawk receivers relevant once again. 19, Eli Manning. 20, Phillip Rivers. 21, Jay Cutler. 22, Jake Locker. 23, Fitzpatrick. If you're starting any of the rest of these guys, I don't know how you made the playoffs, but here we go. We got Bradford, Flacco, Ponder, Whedon, Tannehill, Mark Sanchez, Brady Quinn, Nick Foles, and Ryan Lindley. That's your quarterback spot. Those are your rankings. Follow accordingly. Running backs. Arian Foster, number 1. Number 2, Adrian Peterson. Peterson, tough matchup this week, but he starts against anyone. 3, Doug Martin. Love his matchup. Should run wild. which is unfortunate because I play him. Number 4, Stephen Ridley. Number 5, Trent Richardson. 6, Marshawn Lynch. Another one of those running backs that you start no matter who he plays. It showed last week. Number 7, BenJarvus Green-Ellis. Number 8, Alfred Morris. He looked fantastic last night. RG3, Alfred Morris. Who do you stop in the backfield? Just makes life very, very difficult on defenses. Number 9, Mikel Leshoure. Talk about a guy who has stepped it up. He's got a great matchup this week. Leshoure, top 10, welcome. Number 10, Ray Rice. The Baltimore Ravens did not let Ray Rice touch the ball one time in the fourth quarter. He's their best player. I don't know what's going on. It's just poor play calling. That is what kills Ray Rice's value week in and week out and does it for him again this week. Number 11, Chris Johnson. Number 12, Frank Gore. Number 13, Bryce Brown. Bryce Brown has become a guy you need in your lineup. He's been amazing. Philly feeds him the ball. He runs hard. Bryce Brown basically is a stud. And it looks like LaShawn McCoy will be out yet again this week. Michael Turner, 14. 15, Matt Forte. 16, Jamal Charles. 17, CJ Spiller. 18, Jonathan Dwyer. It looks like he's the guy now in Pittsburgh. That means a lot of touches, and that usually means touchdowns. 19, Darren Sproles. 20, Knowshon Moreno. Looking at this again, I would jump Moreno into running back 2 territory. He's got a pretty solid matchup. He's going to get the ball. I see a touchdown and at least 80 to 100 yards for Knowshon Moreno. DeMarco Murray, 21. 22, Steven Jackson. 23, Ryan Matthews. The season that Ryan Matthews is having is this. 70 yards rushing, and he'll give you 30 to 50 receiving yards each week. It's been nothing but a disappointment, but at least he is getting you some fantasy production. For those of you who are in touchdown leagues, Matthews' production is 0. It's unfortunate. A lot of you spent the first round pick on him. He had high value written all over him and has just continued to let down. 24, Run DMC. It looks like McFadden is back. Looks like he should be playing. If he is in the lineup, he will be a starter. McFadden, good value. Let's see how he comes off this injury. 25, James Starks. The Packer running back situation is completely confusing. One week, they hand the ball to Starks a million times. The next week, it's Alex Green show. It's frustrating for fantasy owners, which is why I would stay away from that situation. 27, Ahmad Bradshaw. 28, Vic Ballard. And 29, Beanie Wells. You're looking at your running back 2s right there. Flex play, possibly. Beanie Wells, he gets you touches. That's it. His average is horrible. I ranked him really high last week, and he let me down. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, and it was just a horrible game. Arizona's offense is very, very stagnant. So Beanie Wells is a reach at a flex play this week. You're looking at flex plays or just out of your lineup here. Mark Ingram, Jacquizz Rodgers. I put Jaguars running backs. Stay away from that situation. They had a fullback step in last week and be their running back. Steer clear unless it's Maurice Jones-Drew, which is a long shot, but the possibility is there since they are so desperate right now for a running back to step in. Sean Green, Marcel Reese, who has been great for everyone who picked him up, but with McFadden coming back, Reese's touches will go down. He'll still be used in the passing game, but value drops off immensely. Reggie Bush, Fred Jackson, Daryl Richardson, David Wilson. Will Jonathan Stewart play? Does it really matter? The Carolina running game has been horrible this entire year. Shane Vereen, Alex Green, Daniel Thomas, Steven Tolling, Donald Brown, Michael Bush, and D'Angelo Williams. Wide receivers. Calvin, number 1. Ryan Broyles goes down. Titus Young is completely banished from all life in Detroit. Megatron's going to get a bunch of targets. He's going to be the guy. We all know Detroit wants to throw the ball. Look for Calvin to reach 15 to 20 targets this week. I love the sounds of that since I am a Megatron owner, and I have pushed that love onto you, Spud Nation. Number 2, A.J. Green. Number 3, Demaryius Thomas. 4, Dez Bryant. He's been too good to ignore. Dez Bryant is there. Number 5, Wes Welker. 6, Vincent Jackson. Love his matchup this week. Look for a nice day out of VJax. Brandon Marshall, Roddy White, Reggie Wayne, and Andre Johnson round out the top 10. Hakeem Nicks, number 11. Number 12, Pierre Garcon. This guy is legit when he's healthy. RG3 looks to him early and often, and he's got that big play capability. Number 13, Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings saw the most targets out of any Packer receiver last week. With Jordy Nelson going down, it's a long shot Nelson will play. But with no Jordy Nelson, look for Greg Jennings' targets to continue to increase. Julio Jones at 14. 15 is Colston. 16, Denario Alexander. This guy's big, he's physical, he sees all the targets that San Diego can throw at him, and he's got nice hands. I love this play. He's a solid wide receiver too. 17, Justin Blackmon. It looks like Cecil Shorts could be out, concussion. You know how NFL is on testing that. Blackmon will see plenty of targets since the rest of the wide receivers are gone. T.Y. Hilton. He's been nothing short of remarkable the past month. Hilton has become a guy you need in your lineup. Wide receiver 3, a definite flex play. Everyone talked about Donnie Avery and the amount of targets that he had and the touchdowns. Well, right behind him, 12 targets, T.Y. Hilton, had 100 yards receiving, just didn't find the end zone. Hilton and Luck, they have this chemistry, guys, and it's been consistent. Not just a week here like Avery's done, and then 3 weeks later he has another good game. Hilton has been every single week. So, T.Y. Hilton. 19, Randall Cobb. 20, Victor Cruz. 21, Golden Tate. You heard me talk about Russell Wilson earlier. Golden Tate has become fantasy relevant once again. 22, Eric Decker. Great matchup this week. Should be able to pick his production up a little bit. 23, Stevie Johnson. 24, Mike Williams. Look for him to break free a little bit. 25, I have Steve Smith and Miles Austin. Look for same productivity between those two. 26, Crabtree. 27, Anquan Bolden. Probably the most silent Baltimore Raven there is. Gets the bulk of the targets, gets a lot of yardage, struggles to find the end zone. I will take that any day over Torrey Smith, who sees very few targets, but they're always touchdown targets. I play a guy who is starting Torrey Smith this week in round 1 of the playoffs, and it'll be my luck for Smith to have a humongous game. 29, Antonio Brown looked good upon his return. 30, Lance Moore. 31, Josh Gordon. I told you, Josh Gordon was the sleeper of the week. He had a great game and a guy that we all should have targeted. 32, Nate Washington. 33, Larry Fitzgerald. I can't say enough how sorry I am to Fitzgerald about Ryan Lindley being his quarterback. 34, Kenny Britt. 35, Denarius Moore. 36, Riley Cooper. First time I mentioned him all year long. It appears Foles likes him a little bit, and he'll have some, he'll have some value, I guess, as far as the Philly passing game goes. 37, Donnie Avery. 38, Mike Thomas. It looks like Mike Thomas is going to be the number 2 in Detroit, but look at him as a number 4 receiver. They're going to throw to Calvin, obviously, Pettigrew, and Tony Scheffler before they target Mike Thomas. Malcolm Floyd, Dwayne Bowe, Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, James Jones. Ranked him last last week. With Jennings' return, Jones wasn't going to see a bunch of targets. But then Jordy Nelson got hurt. James Jones stepped in, had a great game for a fill-in, and that's how it goes. Injuries happen. You just got to survive them. Devon Best, Mario Manningham, Kendall Wright, Brian Hartline, Santana Moss, and Jeremy Maclin. We have, if no Cecil Shorts, it looks like Jordan Shipley will step in there and see some targets, but not real high on the fantasy value there. Some receivers to keep an eye on. Big name receivers, actually. Guys that have a lot of impact on your team. Percy Harvin. Is he going to play? It looks highly unlikely right now. Cecil Shorts. He's been really good for you guys. Jordy Nelson, Danny Amendola, and Andre Roberts. Those are all guys that are going to impact your fantasy lineup. We'll see. Follow along. I'll tweet once I hear anything specific about any of those guys. Tight ends. Here we go. Jimmy Graham, number 1. Tony Gonzalez, number 2. Aaron Hernandez, number 3. Number 4, Owen Daniels. Number 5, Jason Witten. Number 6, Heath Miller. Welcome back to the top 10. With Ben Roethlisberger back, he obviously, like I said earlier, doesn't have that arm strength back to 100%. Heath Miller on a lot of dump downs and targets. Targets mean opportunity. Opportunity means points. Brandon Myers, number 7, coming off a humongous game. Over 100 yards, a touchdown, 15 targets. Brandon Myers, for those of you who listened to me early in the year and took my advice and went and got this guy, big rewards out of that Raider tight end. Number 8, Jermaine Gresham. 9, Brandon Pettigrew. Look for Pettigrew's targets to increase, which is great for Pettigrew owners. Number 10, Mercedes Lewis. Again, another guy you could see increased targets with wide receivers being hurt. Number 11, Greg Olsen. 12, Kyle Rudolph. 13, Dallas Clark. Scoring touchdowns, fellas, and he's got a great matchup this week. 14, Colby Fleener. Welcome back. Andrew Luck throws the ball a bunch, and we saw Fleener find the end zone last week. 15, Scott Chandler. 16, Dustin Keller. 17, Vernon Davis. 18, Dwayne Allen. 19, Jermichael Finley. He's becoming more relevant. He's had 3 games in a row with 50-plus yards. Targets. That's all this guy needs. A lot of targets because you know he's going to drop a bunch of them. 20, Dennis Pitta. 21, Tony Moyaki. 22, Logan Paulson. 23, Antonio Gates. 24, Hausler. 25, Brent Selleck. 26, Jared Cook. And you can throw Tony Scheffler in there anywhere. I would say 15 and 15, 14, 16, that area. I like him better than Dustin Keller. I like him better than Vernon Davis. Right in that area, right in that ballpark. And for defenses, I have 8 to look out for. Broncos versus Raiders. Love the matchup. Broncos will put a lot of pressure on Carson Palmer. Seahawks versus Cardinals. We saw the Cardinals are struggling with anything related to offense. Tampa versus Philly. You slow down the run game, which Tampa is pretty good at, and you put it in Nick Foles' hands, and he's not very good. 49ers Dolphins. 49ers D is just really good. Browns Chiefs. You think Brady Quinn can do it 2 weeks in a row? I don't. Bears Vikings. You stop Adrian Peterson, you stop the Vikings. Jaguars. You're playing the Jets. The Jets are really, really, really bad. Mark Sanchez gets yanked. They do it obviously because Tebow is inactive. You know what? You're not going to win with Greg McElroy. He will throw less interceptions than Mark Sanchez, but we'll see who the starting quarterback is in New York shortly. And number 8, Rams versus Buffalo. The Rams D has been one of the most hot defenses out there. Ryan Fitzpatrick has been known to throw a few interceptions, so look for the Rams to continue their wicked ways. There you go, Spud Nation. You know how to get at me. Craig at thesportscoach.com is my email. I answer them quickly and efficiently. My Twitter handle, @thesportscoach. My YouTube page, find me on there. the regular webpage, www.thesportscoach.com, and of course, my Facebook page. Spud Nation, I'm behind you 100%. Let's take that big step moving on in the playoffs. Good luck. Let's do some work.